Hi, and welcome to another Boomwebsearch technology explanatory video. In this video, we are going to be explaining and discussing some of the changes as in terms of updates / improvements which we have made to our community forum, as well as discussing animation elements and triggerable animation controls / functions in PowerPoint. Those topics of interest for this video and more will be covered right after we roll out our short video intro segment. Okay, so I opened up a blank parentheses with no text or like graphical elements besides the background and the design format for the header, a document for basically visualization of one of the purposes of our video, which is to explain programmable function elements and animations. So one thing I see get mixed up a lot, especially from the users that go from slides to PowerPoint, is that they think the animations and the transitions are basically the same or to reverse to some extent, although actually transitions is different than animations because animations is for on-screen elements at a given time, while transitions is the basically it's kind of the way which the computer knows to move on or start to a brand new slide. So if you add a transition to the first slide, let's say random bars, as soon as you open it in presenter view, it's going to show random bars and then the slide. Although if I wanted to do it between two slides, I would select them and then run an animation. So let's say shape. And if I open them in presenter view and rotate to the second slide, I'd see the shape animation as going to the second slide. So the way it works is whatever animation you select per the slide, it's going to run that animation before running the content for the actual slide. So now going on to animations, it's slightly different, as you'll notice, although I'd like you to look at the right hand side. So there's some way of timing as in terms of both animations and transitions. So first we need to add an element in order to create. Let's add a box or rectangle shape onto the work plane first. So now if we go into drawing tools under the format tab, we can change some properties of this box, including the shape fill. So that should usually be the majority of the object which you're trying to color in. So let's select red for this case. Okay. Or actually let's select white because we want to fill this box in with red and the outline can be white. So now if we're trying to add a timer, which I've done in a previous video which is similar to this, we would add another shape element on top of the existing one, and let's say it's for 59 seconds as we've said. So going into the animations pane, we want to select the wipe animation for this case, and the default is going up, although for a progress bar we want to go from left to right, so let's say from the left, and then we want it to last for 59 seconds, so 59.00, and then the animation will be on click. Now going into present view, we notice that there's first the template box which will be placed in, and then the animation will run on click of anywhere on the slide. So if I click and wait, you'll notice that the animation has started and therefore will last for a set amount of time, which in this case is 59 seconds. So this animation was running off the event that we clicked it. So we can change how we want the animation to be executed, as in terms with the previous slide. So if I had another slide before this, like as the presentation starts, then the animation runs with it, or after another element is run, then the animation will run after that element has been loaded. So now let's go on to the function for programmable elements on screen. So let's say we didn't want it on click, although we wanted it with the click of a box. So if we added another box, let's change the color to, let's say, orange. And we want, once the orange button is pressed, then the animation will start. Then we are going to select this, to go into animations, then we want to ensure that there's not already an animation being run on it. So in this case it's not. Then we're going to go to the element which is going to be the second from the trigger, so the, like, kind of, if you think of it as cause and effect, the cause is the button being pressed and the event is the time being started for this element to run out. So once we select this, there's going to be 59 seconds for the element to run. So as in terms of this being selected, our animation will run through. So we can change the trigger of the animation to be on rounded diagonal corner rectangle 7, which is this element. So now if we go into presenter view and then we select the element, we notice that the animation has started, and if we click it again, then it will just automatically be ended. So we can also say that this is the start button. If we label it start, then if you want to start the animation as you're presenting something, then you can label your buttons and coordinating functions if you like. So if you want to label this estimated time remaining for average file transfer, and then with some new technology which you're advertising, then you'd be able to do that using this function as in terms of with PowerPoint. So now going back to the animations pane, that's basically one of the functions. So there's many triggers we can use instead of it, and that's one thing we're going to explore within this video. So if we delete this, then select trigger again, you notice that it's only on ClickUp. So another option would to run the animation after a sound has started to play. So now we are getting slightly more advanced in PowerPoint, and this is kind of the point where there are some limitations of PowerPoint as far as running multiple events and trigger functions. If we add another shape, which we will change the color of first, first change the outline and then the shape color of, and then we will title it, going back into the home tab and changing the text color to red. We're going to be titling it Start Sound and Animation. Okay, so once we've labeled it, which is kind of optional, although it's better to label it as I suggest, because you might forget which button goes to which function if you're adding a whole lot of these on one slide. And it's probably going to be harder to go back and make changes to the triggers and functions if you don't have them labeled beforehand. So now we've had another element added, which we want to affect the start animation of this. So now we are going to go into animations and then select the trigger to be on the click of the pentagon, and then as this is selected, our animation of this will be run. We can verify that in presenter view, and yes, our animation does run. So going back, now we're going to try to add a sound. Typing the key phrase of sound gives us two options: sound and then insert audio. So sound is just going to be a sound effect, and which we have a list to select from, and then insert audio is going to be if you want to record a sound or if you have a custom sound already downloaded on your computer or stored in a network location, which you can access and pull onto the slideshow. So now I'm going to go off screen and add a audio element just to protect the information security of other files and not disclose file names and things of that nature, as that could spoil future videos. Okay, so now I'm back. I've added a sound element of a song into the slideshow, and if I say play, you can hear the song being played, although now is the time to change this as being a trigger for the animation to run. So if I select the animation and then go into animations and triggers, as you will notice, there's on click of the sound effect. So now on the click of the sound effect, it will run the animation. Although here's the thing which I see as a limitation of PowerPoint. They should have something where I can select the animation and then automatically have it run both the sound effect and then the animation at the same time for a set amount of seconds or however long the animation is going to run. Although since there's no way to do that in PowerPoint, the other only way is going to be this, as in having a separate sound element and having that run and then be the trigger for the animation to be run. and that only works after we've clicked the sound effect on presenter view. You can also edit the volume here as if you want to lower it or decrease it. So I'm going to lower it slightly, and that's pretty much it as far as it goes for animations and the basics of transitions. There's still a little bit more for transitions, which we will likely cover in a future content upload. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see that. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much for watching this Boomwebsearch technology explanatory video, which was generally towards explaining animations in PowerPoint and the basics of transitions, along with some updates which have been made to our community forum. Please make sure that you have subscribed to this channel, Percy's Boomwebsearch, if you have not done so already, and have your bell notifications turned on to prevent missing future content uploads. Please note that you have to be subscribed in order to have the option to turn on bell notifications, so make sure you subscribe and then turn on bell notifications. Don't be trying to turn on bell notifications before subscribing. Please join our community forum as well. It's a nice place to mention general technology concerns and address other people's technology concerns. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next content upload. Bye!